In this video, I'm going to show you how to use a SiteAudit Analyzer to view data collected in your environment. In order to do this, you'll need to have installed the SiteAudit Viewer and Analyzer option, license it for Analyzer, and you also need Excel 2010 or later installed on your system. Now, when you install the SiteAudit Analyzer, you'll get several templates, and these are installed in the C Program Files Metaphor SiteAudit Content folder. And these templates allow you to view different types of data, for example, for your inventory, consumables, volumes, etc. And some of these are better suited for audits and some for ongoing fleet management. So what I'm going to do first is take a look at your inventory, and then I'll move on to a more complex template that allows you to do what-if scenarios. Okay, so this is a sample of the inventory template, and there's several sheets down here that contain different information. This first one's just an inventory by manufacturer. So it shows you a pie chart, how many different types of manufactured devices there are and the quantity of each that exist in your environment. We also have inventory by connectivity, so how many are network versus local printer. And you can see this information both in table format and in a graph format. Okay, here's one with printer age, shows you the various ages of printers in your environment, etc. So each one of these templates have a lot of this different information. And each template comes with this sample data so that you can take a look at the charts and see what type of information can be displayed. The first thing you'll want to do when you open a template is connect to your specific database and import the data. That'll allow you to see what's going on in your environment. And how you do that is you'll come over to this SiteAudit tab and select it. And by default, it's pointed to a server and database. And this will be whatever server and database that you have selected in your viewer. So to show you what I mean, if we bring up the SiteAudit Viewer and go to Setup Database, you can see that the server name is Ridgeback and the database is Demo, and that's the same server and database that's pointed to with the analyzer. Okay, so this is the one where we're going to pull data from. All right, so let's pull data from this database, and how we'll do this is we'll select the drop down here under Databases, go to Select Databases. You'll be able to see all your databases. If you're a hosted administrator, you'll be able to see all your customer databases, and you'll be able to select one or more of them. What we'll want to make sure is this Update All Tables is selected, and then click the Select button. Now we'll click the Refresh All, and what that's doing now is it's going out to our database and it's pulling in the data, and it'll refresh all of the graphs in this spread workbook. Okay, so it's completed, and we can see now the inventory that we have for our specific database. Okay, and if we take a look at each of these spreadsheets that we have down here, the printer age, all of these will have been updated. Okay, so the behavior that I'm about to show you is consistent amongst all the various templates and spreadsheets. So the things you can do here, you can do with all your other templates and spreadsheets. So what I mean by that is you can do things such as filter by department. Okay, so maybe we want to look at things that are in a specific area or departments. We could just choose one of these. If we say select Detroit, say OK. There's 22 devices in this particular area and department. We can add other filters. Maybe we only want to see how many multifunction devices are in the Detroit department, and we can see that there are 12. Okay, we can also filter to show local or network printers. If we want to just see color or black and white, we can do that. The other thing that's kind of nice is, since this is a pivot table, we can select any of these rows and double click it, and what will happen is another sheet will come up, and we'll see here these are all of our Canon devices that are multifunction devices in the Detroit department. So we can see information about those specific devices if we choose to. Okay. All right. So you can do various types of filters, and you can drill down by double clicking a row in the table. The other thing you can do is you can copy the chart and you can paste it into PowerPoint or Microsoft Word. Then from within the analyzer, any type of filtering you do will automatically be applied in PowerPoint or Microsoft Word. So that's very powerful, especially if you've created a presentation for a customer and you're a hosted administrator and you want to do a similar type presentation for another customer. You don't have to recreate your presentation. All you have to do is come up to the Site Audit tab, select your new database, refresh it, and then all that data will be updated in PowerPoint or Microsoft Word. Okay, so that's essentially how easy it is to use the analyzer. What we can do is take a look at a few of the other things here. This one here is showing the printer age. Okay, each printer, it goes in 3-year increments. So we have those printers that are between 0 and 3 years old, 3 to 6 years old, etc. Okay, so we can do things, we can filter. Maybe we only want to see those that are older than 12 years or 12 years or older, and we can show that. So that might be something that you'd want to put into a presentation or to show your customer or just for your own analysis. Again, you can use the various filters here. Maybe we only want to see the color printers that are older than 12 years. Okay, we have 7 of those. Okay. There's other things we could see, the inventory by manufacturer and type. So this is Hewlett Packard. It has 19 multifunction devices and 65 single function devices. Okay, how many of these are black and white? Okay, we can filter and show that as well. So that's a type of thing you can do with any of the charts. Okay, so now what I want to do is show you a slightly more sophisticated example where you can do what-if scenarios. In this case, I'm opening up the template called Balance Deployment. Okay, and in this template, you can set various parameters, and these parameters allow you to do these what-if scenarios. Now, this particular template has many different spreadsheets down here with different type of information that we can see. So we could see how many underutilized multifunction devices there are, how many underutilized single function devices there are, what's the fleet size by volume, okay, single function versus multifunction. We see the volume down here. How many are underutilized or low utilization, etc. So I want to start with the printer age and show you how we might be able to change this using parameters. Okay, so there's a parameter sheet. Currently we're looking at devices that are over 10 years old. What we can do is go to the parameters, and here's our printer age. This is where we're looking at those printers that are over 10. So what if we want to look at printers that are over 6 years old? We can change the parameter, hit our enter key, and then what we need to do is come up to the data tab and click the refresh all button. Now what this is going to do is it's going to refresh all of the sheets in this workbook with this new information. Okay, so now when I go to the printer age sheet, we can see that there's 277 printers that are over 6 years old. Okay, and again, we can come down here and filter to show just specific devices. If we only cared about Canon, HP, and Lexmark, we can show those. We can double click on one of these rows and drill down in and see more information about them. We can add another filter here. Maybe we only want to look at the single function or multifunction devices. Okay, these are single functions, etc. So that's a way that you can use a parameter to change what we're looking at. Now what I want to show you is a what-if scenario, and I'm going to look at the color reduction sheet for this. So in this specific case, what we're looking at is reducing our color printing in this environment by 40%. And how much money could we save if we were to do that? So instead of printing on color, what we're going to do is shift that color to black and white. So what would happen, how much money could I save if I had reduced my color printing by 40% and shifting that color printing to black and white? And what the chart shows us here is that this is our original, the actual cost is $23,712 for our black and white. But if we were to shift 40% of our color printing to black and white, our black and white cost would increase to $34,000. Okay. Our color costs originally are $215,000, and if we reduced it by 40%, it would only be $129,000. So then this would be our total cost, original total cost, and the proposed total cost. And this shows us how much money we could save if we were to reduce our color printing by 40%. Well, maybe that's a pretty lofty goal. Maybe you can start out by saying, okay, well, what if I reduce my printing this year by 20%? How much could I potentially save? And before I get into showing you how to adjust that parameters, where do these values come in? Like, how do we know how much this color pages are costing? If you take a look in the viewer, and if you right click on one of these and goes to cost configurations, this is where the costs are entered for a particular manufacturer or model. In this case, it's 5 cents a page for black and white pages, 12 cents a page for color pages. So to determine the cost, you figure out how many black and white pages were printed and multiply it by 5 cents, and how many color pages were printed, multiply it by 12 cents. And that's essentially how these values are calculated. Okay, and if we wanted to take a look and actually see, well, what are my black and white costs, we could actually double click on this, open another spreadsheet, and evaluate that. But let's just say that I can't reduce it by 40%, but maybe by 25%. So let's go over to our parameters, and here's our color reduction. Currently it's set to 40%. Let's try to reduce it to 25% and see how much we would save if we were to reduce color printing by 25%. So we change the value, hit the enter key to accept it, then go to refresh all, click that. It's updating the data for our spreadsheets, and there we have it. So in this case, if we were to reduce our color cost by 25%, we could recognize an annual savings of about $47,000. Okay, so this is a way that you can do what-if scenarios. And in this balanced deployment, there's a combined sheet over here, and if we select this, what this shows us is the number of devices that we'd like to retain in this environment. So these would be all the ones that are properly utilized. They're not underutilized or overutilized. They don't have a lot of problems. The printer age is within the age that we've specified here, 6 years or younger. And we can do various filtering again as well. If we don't care about whether it's old or not, we can just eliminate that filter, and now we say, okay, there's 229 devices, but if we look at those that are 6 years and younger, we realize there's only 126 of those, and these are the particular manufacturers and how many there are. We can also check those that have poor uptime, okay, or are they MFD, are they underutilized color, do they have underutilized total values, etc. So you can use these various filters as I showed you earlier. Okay, so that's essentially how you can use the analyzer to analyze data in your particular environment. The one thing I want to show you yet is more geared towards hosted administrators. And what you can do as a hosted administrator is you can connect using your key file. In this case, I'm going to use a firewall-friendly key file to connect to a remote database. Okay, and so we're connected to this remote server. I'm going to open up the server and select databases. I can see all of the databases for my clients. I want to make sure the update all tables is selected. And then I can do things, if I want to select one or more, I can select multiple databases, choose select, and then refresh all. And now it's going out and it's pulling in the data for those two customers, and then we can do analysis on multiple customers. Okay, so if I want to look at the manufacturers, you notice here I have one customer. I can select both my customers or one or the other customer or both and select them. I can, let's clear all the filters. Okay, so I can see that I have 11 multifunction devices if I want to look at all of them. I have 41 devices in this particular customer. And I have 30 devices for this other customer. Or I can look at both of them, and I can see I have 71 devices amongst both of those, and these are the various manufacturers that they have. Okay, so that concludes this video. I hope that it's helped you understand a little bit about using the SiteAudit Analyzer, and as always, feel free to let us know if you have any questions.